Now, on the 22nd of August 2025, amendments to the Road Fund Administration Act came into effect, bringing major changes to how vehicle license fee debts are handled in Namibia. These changes were officially announced on the 17th of September 2025 by the Road Fund Administration. Today, we speak to Patricia, Executive for Strategic Services, and Elvis Kambatuku, Chief Financial Officer, both from the Road Fund Administration. Ms. Keeja, Mr. Kambatuku, a very good morning to you, and thank you so much for making time to join us in studio.
Good morning to you.
All right. I know they always say ladies first, but we can always start with Mr. Kambatuku. With this new announcement, can you perhaps briefly just explain to us in layman terms what has changed in the law regarding the vehicle license fee debt?
Yeah, in terms of the provisions that have been added or that have resulted in the amendment of the Act, we have two of them, main one. The first one is the entry fees. That is the entry fees at the borders, where in terms of militaries, as well as health sectors, as well as any other person who have applied for coming into the country can be given, the waiver can be given on that. And that will be, if you, as an example, if there is military exercises in the country and neighboring countries' defense forces are taking part in these exercises, they apply through the Ministry of Defense Force, then Ministry of Defense Force send us a letter, then that waiver will also be given in terms of entry in the country. Then they don't need to pay the cross-border fees. Then there's a second one, that is now the one in terms of the license fees, interest, and penalties waiving. And in terms of that, what we have we realized that we have seen that the debts on the NATO system have been growing as members of the public have been not fulfilling their obligations in terms of paying for vehicle license fees, and these have resulted in interest and penalties occurring on those license fees. So now, through the Act, it was now decided, or it was approved through the Act, that the interest and penalties on license fees through the Road Fund Administration over 1 million in terms of the interest and penalties will be waived by the Minister of Finance, and under 1 million will be waived by the RFA CO with the approval of the board.
All right. Ms. Keeja, what happens to debt that are more than 3 years old?
The debt that are more than 3 years old are, as per the provision of the Prescription Act of 1996, they are then being prescribing, so they are written off.
Okay. And the ones that are more than 3 years old?
More than 3 years old are written off. The ones that are less than 3 years old are the unprescribed ones. Those ones are the ones where the vehicle owners has to apply for the waiving of penalty, interest, and interest. Then
they can get a relief?
They can get a relief.
All right. So how does a person apply for this waiver, and where can they go for help?
Okay. In terms of application for the waivers, I would leave that one over to the CFO.
Yeah. Yes. In terms of the application for waivers, the members of the public can go to any NATES office in their regions or near them, and can approach the colleagues at NATES office, and then there will be help in terms of applying. Members of the public can also apply at comfort of their house on RFA website. If you log on RFA website, you can also apply, as well as also approaching the RFA head office, where you can also be assisted in terms of applying for the waiver as well.
All right. Are there costs involved when applying for the waiver?
No cost at all. It's free.
All right. Ms. Keeja, how long does this process take for the application to be processed?
The turnaround for the application is 90 days. So
strictly
90 days.
All right.
It could be earlier, but 90 days is what we're committing to.
All right. Talk to us about some of the benefits of these changes for ordinary Namibians.
The benefit for these changes for the ordinary Namibian is maybe in cases where you had trouble with your vehicle, that the vehicle couldn't have been on the road, you are now enabled to waive debt that is older than 3 years. Then you can start and then update your vehicle license status and be able to drive your vehicle again. And also in terms of financial relief. So if you had penalties that are really hindering you to pay your vehicle license, you can now go and apply for financial relief for waiving of the penalties and the interest.
All right. Mr. Kambatuku, how will this help the RFA and also just natives in managing their systems better?
Yeah, in terms of the debts, if you look at the debts, it's on RFA financials. So we want to make sure that the debts that cannot be recovered is written off. You realize that some of those debts are for the people who have passed on or companies that have been liquidated. So it's better to have the current debt, which is recoverable, and so that will assist from us to write it off. From the NACE's side, it will also ensure that the debts that is there, that is going to be recovered, is a current one, and also it's not like it's going to be overstated. And also cars have been, some cars might have been written off already, and members of the public are not aware that they need to go to NATES to write it off. So then that will assist in those terms.
All right. I want to hear from the both of you. What message do you have for our viewers this morning who perhaps are vehicle owners but have not yet updated their license fees?
In my view, I would say let the vehicle owners be responsible citizens. In terms of the legal framework, provision has been made that we waive the penalty interest. So apply for waiving of the penalty interest where your vehicle has been parked or where you have got a scenario where you couldn't update your vehicle status. Your prescribed date, which is older than 3 years, is being written off. Approach the RFA office and the NATES offices to update your vehicle status. That way you'll have your vehicle again on the road and also been relieved from debt that you did not know how to resolve.
All right. Mr. Kambatuku?
Yeah, no, in addition to that, what must happen is that the members of the public, once they approach the NATES officers, they need to obtain the statements for their vehicles that they want to apply for, and that vehicle debts in terms of the interest, as well as the penalties, as well as the license fee due, will be on a statement. And when they are applying, they need to attach on the applications the statement as well to indicate the amount of fees that they want to apply for, as well as any required document which is part of the application or indicated on the application that must be submitted, and then they submit, and within 90 days we respond.
All right. Well, Mr. Kambatuku, Ms. Keeja, thank you so much for making time to talk to us this morning about the new law of vehicle license fee debt in Namibia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.